Hi my friends, I miss you guys. I'm gonna read you a book so that you can hear a read aloud and that I get to see you since I haven't seen you in, oh my gosh, it's so long, too long, but I miss you guys. I hope you're doing well and I'm gonna read you a story, okay? Alright, so I'm gonna read you a story called Jane versus the Tooth Fairy, and it's by Betsy J, and it's illustrated by Lori Osicki. This is the front cover. Looks like there might be a battle between the Tooth Fairy and Jane. Okay. I'm gonna take this off so that it's easier to read to you guys. One night, my tooth started wiggling in my mouth. I was brushing my teeth with my pink sparkle bubblegum toothpaste when it happened. I ran to tell Mama right away so we could get me to the doctor. I thought there was something very wrong with me and maybe I needed a cast or stitches. She wasn't worried. She said, "Oh, Jane, you're losing your first tooth. You're such a big girl these days. Like all of you losing your teeth and thinking it's wiggly and it's hurting." Then she and Daddy wanted to look at it in my mouth. They were both very excited. Neither one of them has a loose tooth. All their teeth stand still. So all their teeth are grown-up teeth. Look, and look at these. This one doesn't have story borders like our jam bread books. It has like little pictures in the text. Pretty cool. I was standing in the yard while Mama talked to Mr. Henley across the fence. Mama said, "Come show Mr. Henley your loose tooth." So I walked over there and opened my mouth for him. That was when he wiggled it and said, "I've got just the thing for that." He picked up a yard tool that pulled things and acted like he would pull out my tooth with it. Uh-oh, that would be scary. I wouldn't want anyone doing that. I thought he might be teasing, but I screamed and ran away from him anyways, just to be safe. I don't want anybody to take out my tooth, no matter how wiggly it gets or if I can't even chew with it. I had this tooth forever and I'm keeping it. Can you really keep your baby teeth forever though? Not usually. Grandma came the next day to visit for a week, so 7 days, and I still had the loose tooth. Some of you had loose teeth for a long time, and it takes forever for the tooth to fall out. I had that too when I was little. She sleeps in the other bed in my room. My grandma is an old woman, but she has lots of tricks. She can take her teeth out and her hair off. When she sleeps, she keeps her hair on a fake head and puts her teeth in a little glass. So that means she wears a wig and she has fake teeth called dentures that she puts in because her teeth have gotten old. I've been watching her carefully in case she takes something else off, like a leg or a head. Do you think people take off legs and heads? Look, there's Grandma, and there's our illustrations in the text. I went to the toy store with Mama and Grandma. Grandma gave me $10 and said, "You buy whatever you want with this money." What I wanted was an art set with crayons, markers, and paints. Mama said I'd need another $3.50 to buy the art set. Then I remembered my loose tooth, and I told her I wanted to buy some dentures like Grandma's, only smaller. Remember, dentures are the fake teeth. Mama said they don't make dentures for little girls. Little girls have to grow their teeth back when they lose them. I don't think that's fair. I told Mama I've decided to go ahead and keep this tooth, even if it does wiggle. Here they are at the toy store. And the illustrations on this page too. Pretty cool. A mean boy at my school, Jimmy, has a loose tooth, but he likes his. He told me the tooth fairy will come and take it away while he is sleeping and leave him money. After he told me that, I knew it must be the tooth fairy who makes my tooth loose. I thought she must come in my room at night and pull on it until it wiggles. Do you think that's what happens to your teeth? The tooth fairy flies in your room and wiggles your teeth? Now I sleep with the window closed and my mouth shut so the tooth fairy can't get in. I thought it was an awfully good thing that Grandma's teeth were in that glass right on the table in case the tooth fairy got in after all. If I were the tooth fairy, I would take Grandma's teeth first because they are so much fancier than mine. Means they're so much nicer. I told Grandma about this and she said the tooth fairy wouldn't do that. She said the tooth fairy only takes away teeth from someone else that doesn't need any more teeth. I don't believe her. So she's saying that she only takes the teeth from kids that don't need the teeth anymore. Because you have baby teeth and then you grow your big kid teeth. I don't think pulling out teeth is a very nice thing for the tooth fairy to do, even if she does leave me money for it, and even if she wears a fairy costume with diamonds on it and has a magic wand. It's my tooth, and if she pulls it out, I'm going to have to go to all the trouble of growing it back. Everybody acts like the tooth fairy is some friendly person. I don't think she is. If I went around pulling out people's teeth, I would probably have to go to jail. I know this because I tried pulling out Jimmy's tooth during nap time, and I had to sit in the corner all through recess. Oh, she tried to pull out Jimmy's tooth during nap time with clay pliers. Look at that. Look at poor Jimmy's asleep, and she's trying to pull out his teeth. Mama had to go to the dentist, and she made me go with her. Inside the dentist's office, there is a big stool shaped like a tooth, but much bigger, that you can sit on. I sat on it. There's a picture of the tooth fairy on the wall. I said, "The dentist must like the tooth fairy." The lady behind the desk said, "Oh yes, the dentist and the tooth fairy are close personal friends." Then I made my mouth shut as tight as I could and gave Mama a look at her that I know would not be opening my mouth for the rest of the time that we were here. She thought I was being silly, but I was being safe about my teeth. Oh look, here's a signed picture from the tooth fairy. At the bottom, like right there, it says, "From your friend the tooth fairy." Look at, and she has her mouth closed shut, and her mom's chuckling. Grandma told me that all her teeth fell out because she didn't brush them enough. So I figured out that since brushing teeth keeps them from falling out, I could brush my tooth back into standing still. So she thinks she can brush her teeth into standing still. All day long, I brush my teeth every time I remember to. I used a whole tube of pink sparkle bubblegum toothpaste. When I brushed the tooth, it kept getting looser and looser, so I had to keep brushing it harder and harder to try and make it stay in, until I brushed it so hard, and I brushed it right out of my mouth into the sink. It didn't hurt much, but it had blood on it, so I screamed. She's silly. Of course it would fall out if you keep brushing it and brushing it. Everybody came running, and when they saw that my tooth was out, they were happy, and they told me I was a big girl. It felt funny in my mouth where my tooth used to be. I kept the tooth in my pocket all day, with a wishbone from a turkey and an army man with a purple outfit that I painted on him all by myself. So her tooth and an army man and a wishbone from a turkey, which is just like a U-shaped bone with a lion up front. I'll show it to you. She kept that on in her pocket all day. Like, there she is. That's a wishbone. Right there. And there's her army man and her tooth. I play with the tooth all day, but I found out there isn't much you can do with a tooth once it's outside your mouth. Nope. I wished I had the art set from the toy store. That's when I got my idea. What do you think? What she's gonna think? Mama said that the tooth fairy pays for a tooth. My tooth would have to get fancy to pay for the rest of the art set. I found a blue marker and colored it all over, and Grandma helped me glue some sequins on it from my old dance costume. So she's making her tooth sparkly and colored to see if she gets more money from the tooth fairy so she can buy her art set. That's pretty smart. Decorating her teeth. When it was time for bed, I put it under my pillow. I put a note under there too. It said, "Dear Tooth Fairy, this is a very fancy tooth for you. It costs $3.50. Take it or leave it. Sincerely, Jane. P.S. If you don't buy it, my grandma will." There she's sleeping. And there's the Tooth Fairy reading her note about what it costs. The next morning, the tooth was gone, and I found $3.50 under my pillow instead. I ran to show Mama and Daddy. They said the Tooth Fairy must think your teeth are very fancy. I told them, the Tooth Fairy and I are close personal friends. Look at that. Pretty funny how that worked out. That's it. That's at the end. Thanks for listening to my story. I hope you guys are doing okay and having fun and playing. And I miss you guys. And I love you guys. And I will read another book soon, okay? Bye, friends.